Double espresso. Yeah, of course. I'm a fighter. First of all, I want to fight as much as possible, but like I couldn't fight for the title. I was waiting for my shot, and instead of sitting at the home, I was wrestling, and doing streaming and training. So it gives me a lot of like fan base. Thank you guys, and finally I'm fighting, and I'm so excited for my next fight, and can't wait.
Cara, eu não sou um cara de falar muito. Fala, rapaziada, tô muito feliz de estar aqui com vocês. Hey, guys! Pô, tô muito feliz de estar aqui, feliz com a oportunidade. Eu só sei fazer uma coisa dentro do octógono, nocautear meus adversários, eu entro lá pra fazer isso. Nem quando venço uma luta por decisão, eu durmo direito, chego em casa. Eu sou um cara que eu amo fazer o que eu faço e vou estar sempre buscando um nocaute. Já que ele vem para me finalizar, me agarrar, eu tô indo para nocautear e que vença o melhor.
I mean, he can think whatever he wants. He's gonna do his job, I'm gonna do my job. But I can knock out and I can wrestle and I can choke. But he has only one weapon, knocked out. So I have more weapons. I can wrestle and I can choke him and I can knock him out. So.
The tension between Arman Tsarukyan and Mauricio Ruffy has reached another level ahead of UFC 331. Their face-off showed that this is not just another fight. Both men believe they have what it takes to win, and neither one is backing down. Tsarukyan is excited to finally return to competition. He says he wants to fight as much as possible, but while waiting for his next opportunity, he stayed busy. He wrestled, trained, streamed, and built a bigger fan base. Now he finally has another fight, and he believes he has more ways to win than Ruffy.
How was the cheesesteak? Streamer! Don't be bad! Streamer! Don't be bad! Don't be bad! You like the streamer! Let's go, Ruby! Where's Neo? Yeah! Where's Neo?
Tsarukyan says Ruffy has one main weapon, his knockout power, but Tsarukyan believes he can wrestle, submit, or knock him out. In his view, having more options gives him a major advantage. The fight is scheduled for September 19th at UFC 331 in Los Angeles, and it could have major consequences for the lightweight division. Tsarukyan was originally expected to face Charles Oliveira again, but that fight did not happen. Instead, he was matched with Ruffy, who has quickly become one of the most dangerous strikers in the UFC.
Arman Tsarukyan.
Arman Tsarukyan.
Yeah.
So
Batman. By the way, he has officially changed his name, his fight name. I don't remember what it was. It was some Armenian word. Now he is Arman Batman Tsarukyan, which he's been at RAF now for several fights, I think since he started with RAF, but he is officially going to walk out to She Wanna Be With an Indian by Neon. It's a rap song that the streamer Neon created, and he is going to be announced as Arman Batman Tsarukyan. So I can't wait for that fight. And look, I was excited for the Charles Oliveira rematch, but I was never like, as soon as they announced Charles versus Arman Part 2, when they said it's going to be 5 rounds, but there's not going to be a belt on the line, no BMF option for Arman, and all the stuff that came with it, I was like, it sort of feels like he just ran back into Charles Oliveira, and there's nobody else timing-wise that he could fight. And then you pull Charles Oliveira out for good reason, of course.
Tsarukyan believes Ruffy's knockout power makes this matchup different. He says Oliveira could not knock him out, while Ruffy has the power to do it. That gives Ruffy a dangerous opportunity. At the same time, Tsarukyan knows that Ruffy is not as dangerous on the ground as Oliveira. This is where the biggest advantage could come from. Tsarukyan has built his reputation around elite wrestling, pressure, strength, and control. If he gets Ruffy to the ground, he could make the fight very difficult for him.
what Arman said that was interesting to me was that Charles Oliveira can't knock him out and Mauricio Ruffy can.
Yeah.
And that makes it more of a dangerous fight. Now, that helps sell the fight because a lot of people know that Charles Oliveira contended with Arman in the grappling when they fought the first time. And a lot of people thought that had that fight continued another couple of rounds, that Charles Oliveira probably would have won it. Now, so making the convincing argument that this is a rematch that's worth watching because it's very evenly matched is very easy to do. Now, a lot of people are thinking Arman's going to walk all over Ruffy, so I think he's doing a good job in selling the fight, if it's nothing else.
Yeah.
Just to say that, and he's right about that, by the way.
Yeah.
Ruffy is not Charles on the ground.
Ruffy, however, has a completely different style. He is fast, explosive, creative, and dangerous at long range. He throws powerful shots and does not waste many punches. His goal is simple: hurt his opponent and look for the finish. Ruffy recently gained even more attention after his knockout victory over Michael Chandler at the White House. That win helped establish him as a serious threat in the lightweight division, but some fighters and analysts are still not convinced that Ruffy has faced the kind of competition needed to prove he belongs at the top.
Arman versus Ruffy kind of came out of left field. Arman's been having this crazy out of the UFC run, wrestling, doing jiu-jitsu, vlogging, he's everywhere. Against Ruffy, who's coming off a beautiful KO over Michael Chandler at the White House. Dude, this is an interesting fight. Ruffy throws power shots, big shots, boom, boom. He did get out grappled against Benoit, and that is Arman. Arman's gonna maybe come out there, try to take him down, but he's gonna be running into some serious danger, because Ruffy doesn't come out there and throw a bunch of combinations, let you get under his legs. He bounces around and throws big, hard shots that he knows he's gonna land, or at least he thinks he's gonna land. He's not gonna go out there and waste punches. He's landing, he's trying to knock people out, and that's gonna be an interesting fight. That's a hard matchup for Arman. If he doesn't get him down and control him right away, that's gonna be an interesting fight.
Some believe Tsarukyan could dominate him and even finish the fight before the third round. Still, Ruffy has confidence in his abilities. He has admitted that Tsarukyan is one of the toughest opponents in the division, but he believes his striking gives him the perfect tools to create problems. Ruffy is taller and longer, which could make it difficult for Tsarukyan to close the distance. His kicks, long punches, and unpredictable attacks could force Tsarukyan to take risks just to get inside. That is where the fight could become extremely dangerous. If Tsarukyan rushes forward carelessly, Ruffy could land a huge shot, but if Tsarukyan gets close enough to grab him, the entire fight could change.
Tsarukyan is gonna absolutely dismantle Ruffy. I've never been sold on Ruffy. He doesn't have a lot of great wins. I think BSD kind of exposed the blueprint when it comes to him. His fight at the White House was basically just a hit job. You know, they set him up with every bit of 40-year-old Michael Chandler. So he got that rub. I think Arman finishes him.
The moment Tsarukyan gets a takedown, Ruffy will have to defend against one of the best wrestlers in the division. Tsarukyan can control him against the cage, take him down again, and keep attacking until Ruffy begins to slow down. This creates the biggest question of the fight. Can Ruffy keep the fight standing? Ruffy believes that if the fight stays on the feet, Tsarukyan could be in serious trouble. His speed and power could make every exchange dangerous. Tsarukyan believes the opposite. He expects his wrestling and pressure to eventually take control.
If you can get past that, close the distance, get on the inside, shoot a takedown, get him down on the ground.
Ruffy and Arman Tsarukyan. And we know Ruffy's style, we know how dominant Arman Tsarukyan is. I'll start with Bisping, and then I want to hear from TJ and Mighty. What do you think will happen in this fight? What do you think one of them needs to do to win?
Yeah, well, in some ways it's kind of similar to what we just saw with Islam and Ian Gary on paper. You know, I'm not saying that Arman is the same kind of wrestler.
Another important factor is what is at stake. Tsarukyan has reportedly been told that a win over Ruffy could put him closer to another lightweight title opportunity. That means this is more than just a difficult matchup. It could be a major step toward the championship. For Ruffy, this is a chance to prove that he belongs with the best fighters in the division. The face-off only made the fight more interesting. The two fighters stared each other down with no friendly handshake and no relaxed attitude.
Islam Makhachev, but the sentiment of the fight is pretty much the same thing, because Ruffy's so much taller and longer, he's unpredictable, he's got very long strikes, he can pick him apart at distance, he's got the reach advantage just like Ian Gary had, he's got the spinning wheel kicks and all that type of stuff. He can really surprise him, whereas Arman's going to have to close the distance, if he was doing this, which Ian Gary was, which is crazy, but if he can get past that, close the distance, get on the inside, shoot a takedown, get him down on the ground.
The tension became so high that Dana White had to step in before things could turn physical. That moment quickly became one of the biggest talking points surrounding UFC 331. Now imagine what happens when the cage door closes. Ruffy will likely try to use his reach, speed, and power from the opening bell. He will want to keep Tsarukyan Tsarukyan at a distance and land the big shots that have made him famous. Tsarukyan, meanwhile, will likely stay patient. He can study Ruffy's movement, wait for an opening, close the distance, and shoot for the takedown.
It's a very big test.
If the fight stays on the feet, Arman gets knocked the fuck out. But it won't stay on the feet. Look at what Benoit Saint-Denis did to Mauricio. Ragdolled him. Face cranked him in the second round.
Forgot about that.
Don't tell me that Arman Tsarukyan's not a better wrestler than Benoit Saint-Denis, because he is. And that's just a
If Ruffy stops the first attempt, Tsarukyan can try again. He can chain his takedowns together, push Ruffy against the cage, and make him work. But every takedown attempt carries risk. If Tsarukyan makes a mistake while entering, Ruffy could land a fight-changing punch or kick. That is why this matchup is so exciting. Ruffy has the kind of striking that can end a fight instantly, while Tsarukyan has the wrestling and control needed to take away that striking advantage.
stays on the feet, Arman gets knocked the fuck out.
Mauricio, Ruffy, Arman Tsarukyan. TJ, kick that off. What do you think about that fight?
Sick fight. I'm pumped for it. I think it's also a tough fight for Arman, though. I'm a big fan of Ruffy, the way that he fights on his feet. He's very creative. He's a sniper. He's going to be a problem, but because of Arman's well-roundedness, we know where he's going to want to try to take the fight. He's very strong. His conditioning is insane. I'm probably leaning towards Arman to get the fight. Yeah, he's a Jackson athlete, but even outside of that, I think his well-roundedness will get him.
Some analysts are leaning towards Tsarukyan because of his well-rounded game, strength, and conditioning. Others believe Ruffy's speed, creativity, and knockout power could produce a huge upset. Both fighters believe the other man has weaknesses that can be exposed. Ruffy believes Tsarukyan cannot handle his striking. Tsarukyan believes Ruffy has not faced this level of wrestling pressure before. Soon, we will find out who is right. Will Mauricio Ruffy keep the fight standing and shock Arman Tsarukyan with his power? Or will Tsarukyan take him down, control him, and prove that his wrestling is too much to handle? The answers will come when UFC 331 begins. This could be one of the most exciting lightweight fights of the year, and the intense face-off was only the beginning.